into our meditation posture. And just for, oh, Coral, hi. Just for everyone, not just as we were having a little chat with Lorraine, just however it is you're turning up this evening, just know that it's okay. It's totally fine, whatever's going on. So in these meditations, we can kind of try and get in touch with that space inside of ourselves, apart from the fact we're doing this practice, that really can be that place of stillness, that place of home that we can always go back to, that we can always access at any time, even though we think in the moment we're too hectic to be able to get there, but it's there available to you. You just have to kind of open your heart to it, or breathe enough, to slow down enough, to put some space in between the thoughts enough, so you can access that stillness, because that is who you really are, not this other stuff that we have going on with our thoughts. And I should be better than this. I shouldn't be doing this, or I've got too much this going on. So just settle yourself into your meditation posture as best you can. Lengthen your spine. Put some space in between those vertebrae. Head is very slightly tipped forward, and the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose and the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And just relax the jaw. And just from the crown of the head all the way down to your toes, just very slowly, just release and relax any tension, particularly paying attention to the back of the tongue and the throat, the back of the neck, the shoulders. Take a nice deep breath. And then just notice if there's any sounds in your environment, and allow those sounds to be there. And then your thoughts. Again, try not to judge what's arising. Just allow the thoughts, and think about putting a bit of space in between them. Try not to follow a story or allow the thoughts to just run rampant. Slow it all down. I think sometimes when our mind runs away, or we get kind of head up about something or something, we're not really in our right frame of mind. Do you know what I mean? We're kind of, and then when we come back to ourselves, we feel a bit different, feel a bit more grounded. So again, if your feet are on the floor, rather than sitting in the cross-legged position, you maybe just feel the earth through the feet, kind of the solidity of the earth that's holding you up. So with our thoughts, just be like a scientific observer, be objective. Just looking at them with a level of curiosity and interest. Try not to identify too strongly. And we just put ourselves on the bank of our river and watch it flow by, and we just remember that while we're on the bank, we're free from the river. So bring to mind all the people of your life. Excuse me, your loved ones. People that we hold dear to our heart, who are our support, our spouses and children and best friends, families. And then there's folks in our life who were a bit more difficult for us. And then there's people in our life who are just really complete strangers. Remembering they can change place at any time, and they probably have for you over the past couple of years that we've been doing this practice together. So I think we'll do this meditation for all these people of our life who are the same as us in their wish to be happy, in their wish to be free from suffering, and in having this extraordinary capacity for enlightened mind. And also think this evening I just saw a message from Mary. Her mum and her dog are very ill. So just keep them in your heart this evening. And yes, Mary, we can do Medicine Buddha tomorrow. And also for Lamsa Rinpoche's sister, Annie Nawang Samton, who's up in Laudo, Gompash. I just heard today her health isn't great. So let's keep her in mind. So this practice of purification is a psychological practice, and we create negativity with our mind, so we can equally create positivity with our mind instead. We can change our minds. We do have the power to change our minds. We don't have to be under the control of our delusions. We actually have the power to get on top of them. So these kind of practices just help us. So we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day and in this life and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we will experience, so logically it would make sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret the anger, the attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come for the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're wanting Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're not looking for a higher power to kind of, just kind of release us from our sins kind of thing. We're going to do the work ourselves, and we're going to use Vajrasattva's method. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and you can also imagine this is your teacher, your trusted mentor, manifesting in this, the mind of that person manifesting in this form for your benefit. And so he is made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud, just like our enlightened potential, which is born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them. So you can imagine this beautiful, radiant face. Vajrasattva's eyes are long, they're shaped like lotus petals, and they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth, his hair is black and held up in a top knot, his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, which represents wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents a union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood, so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have also part of reliance is compassion. And in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing a wish for them to be free from suffering. And think particularly of people you may have harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because they will suffer as a result of the harm that they've done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. So Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So now feel completely purified. Your body is completely purified. Just be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being of your body is completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. So the next is the purification of speech, and Vajrasattva now very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and enters your crown quite forcefully, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, and it's like not one atom left. So just imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And the next is a purification of the mind. Of Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra and this arcs around and into your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you switch on a light. The light in that room instantly dispels the darkness. So the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment and neediness and grasping and wanting things, feeling like you're not enough, feeling depressed, feeling angry, grudges, jealousy, all of this instantly dispelled as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anorakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa Anorakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, and think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. So just imagine that. Very, very subtle imprints just being completely eradicated as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa anorakta meboa sawa siddhi me biyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anorakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sutam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa Anorakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa Anorakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa Anorakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa Anorakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa Anorakta me boa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata ahum pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your omniscience, to your enlightenment, have been removed. And so now we come to the power of resolve and the fourth and final step in the purification process, and a really crucial one. So we have a minute or two extra today. So let's just, for 1 minute, just meditate on what it is you're going to work on. Think of something. Don't forget to rejoice. Maybe while we're in this just for 1 minute of meditation, 1 or 2 minutes, give yourself a timeline. Maybe you can actually even start working on it now. So imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you can think that my teacher's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. So next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate a little bit on emptiness here. So we can think, in emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a moment, and we can think about all phenomena are empty. They do not exist from their own side. We can also think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification to all living beings, to all those people of your life, and to yourself. And think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible, and for His Holiness's super long life, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, O Tup Shu Chang Shin Jam Gon Galloway, Tenzing Kyong Pelaway, Kunzo Dog Porze, Chog Sum Kurway, Leg Mon to Drug, Pa Dog Sog Dulaje, Gondu Jab Ten Shog. Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. And for Geshe Sher, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody. Good night. Lots of love. And we'll do Medicine Buddha tomorrow morning, if that's okay with everyone. And I will see you then, some of you. Okay.